Star Wars Jedi Survivor deserved better, but I don't mean from us, I mean from EA and Respawn. It's undeniable that the launch of Jedi Survivor was pretty terrible. Performance issues, crashes, people just not enjoying the game because of how bad the performance issues were. It just overtook everything. It didn't matter how good the game was, because most people couldn't even get off the first planet because it was that bad. It was like 20 FPS on like PC specifically, but PlayStation had their issues, Xbox had their issues. It was just a disaster, okay? And they even cancelled the PS4 and Xbox One ports, thank God, because they just had no chance of running in the state that game was in. That being said, they actually are bringing out PS4 and Xbox One ports of that game. It's gonna be very interesting to see how they launch, because I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be fucking funny. People are gonna buy it and like, oh my god, it looks like shit. No shit, Sherlock. Anyway, point is, EA and Respawn rushed this game out, and the reason it deserved better is because Jedi Survivor, honestly, it came out in 2023. I replayed it this year, literally about a month ago, and I honestly think it might have been one of the best games of 2023. Now, I know Baldur's Gate came out, okay? I didn't play Baldur's Gate, I'll be honest with you. It's not my kind of game. I'll give it a chance at some point, probably when I got more time, but not for me. Didn't look like my kind of thing. Looked way too long. Apparently the game's like 100 hours. Nah, not for me, thank you. Cheerio. But for me, Jedi Survivor was definitely a standout, even back in 2023. I made a review on it when it first came out. You can go check it out on this channel. It was a very positive review, but I was also like kind of biased, but kind of not, you know what I mean? I'm always going to be a bit biased because I like these kinds of third-person, like action-adventure, semi-open world games. I like how limited they are. I like how simple it is. You just go to an area, you explore it, and you find stuff, and then that's that. You can carry on with the main path, you know what I mean? Rather than it being a massive open world with loads of stuff to do. Elden Ring, Red Dead Redemption 2, etc. You know, they're standouts, you know what I mean? It depends. It depends how good the game is. But Jedi Survivor is such a massive improvement on Jedi Fallen Order. Just massive. It's kind of insane how much of a big improvement it is. The only thing that's lacking in Survivor compared to Jedi Fallen Order is variety in planets. You only get 3 planets in Jedi Survivor, but they're better. They're just better. Everything is better. Level design is better. Combat is better. Enemy design is better. Enemy variety is better. Weapon stances is better. Force powers are better. The story, I wouldn't say the story is better, but we'll get to that. But overall, as a package, I think it is significantly better than Jedi Fallen Order, and it did not get the recognition it deserved because of how terrible the launch was. That is why it deserved better. You see, EA and Respawn, they are hit and miss for me. They made Apex Legends, which I hate. I hate Battle Royale games. I think they're one of the worst things that happens to the industry outside of microtransactions and loot boxes. But they also make some of the best games I've played. Titanfall 2. If you have not played Titanfall 2, I've made many videos on this channel about Titanfall 2. Please play Titanfall 2. It is fucking amazing. It's one of the best FPS games you can play specifically for single player, but the multiplayer is also pretty damn good when it works because Respawn gave up on it for whatever reason. These guys make fantastic games, but they also make duds, which is why it pissed me off that Jedi Survivor didn't get the recognition it deserved, because let's be honest, if you've played it, and I think if you played it in like the last couple of months or literally a couple of months after launch, you would know how good that fucking game is. Let's look at Jedi Fallen Order, for example. The story is alright. It's a basic, gotta find this magical thing that's gonna fix everyone's problems story, okay? You go and explore. It's like, I wouldn't say it's Indiana Jones or Tomb Raider or anything apart from the fact there are tombs in the game, but it's, you know, your classic action-adventure story. There's something magical you gotta find, and it's gonna save everyone, blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? It wasn't fantastic. The villains weren't great. Like, what's I don't even remember her name. It's, it doesn't matter. The Sith enemy, the Inquisitor, yeah, she was alright. Not really memorable, but, you know, it is what it is. But Jedi Survivor has the same problem. Jedi Survivor does a similar thing. There is a person, I'm not going to spoil it, there's a person in this game that you got to find, and it becomes much more integral to the story later on. But then there's also extra twists down the line, which is where Jedi Survivor improves on Fallen Order's story. You see, Fallen Order, there's not really many twists, and it's just an origin story for Cal Kestis, who, by the way, is a great character, but he's so much better in Jedi Survivor. And it's kind of limited to that. You know, those stories are always limited to it. You know, it's an origin story. What can you do with an origin story apart from revamp it a little bit, you know what I mean? Whereas Survivor is much more in-depth. Like, Cal Kestis really comes into his own in the story, and that's why I like it so much. The plot is kind of ass, I've got to be honest, in Survivor. It's not great, but the character work is so much better, and I didn't see anyone talking about it when it first launched. And I hadn't played it again until recently, and it just reminded me how much I fucking love this game. Cal Kestis wasn't like a fan favorite, let's be honest. Even when Fallen Order came out, everyone was like, yeah, he was alright, a bit whiny because he's a kid and all that. But Survivor, if people had just looked over the performance issues, I know I shouldn't say that because obviously it's a big issue in the industry right now where people release games without them being finished and then update them later, I know. But I'm talking about the game itself, not its launch. People just looked past the performance issues and looked at the story and looked at the gameplay. It's such... Respawn are killing it, and they're not getting enough recognition. I think this got nominated for Game of the Year, but no one actually expected it to win. Personally, after replaying it, I think it should have won. That's just me, but I didn't play Baldur's Gate. Or Resident Evil, actually. I'm about to play Resident Evil 4. I hope it's good. Anyway, I'm going off track. Every character in Survivor gets so much care and love, apart from one character that I will get into in a second. But Cal Kestis. Oh... amazing in Survivor. I've forgotten the actor's name who plays him, I'll be honest, but he did a great job. Merrin as well. Merrin gets a lot of screen time here, much more than Fallen Order, and thank God she does, because she's a great character. Bode, a new character that got added in, is fucking fantastic. It's the same guy that plays, I think it was Charles in Red Dead Redemption 2. He also plays Mysterio in Spider-Man 2. That guy is such a phenomenal actor. I mean, he has the same voice a lot of the time, but, you know, you just don't care because the voice is that good. You get invested, you're like, oh my god, this is so fucking good. Oh, just give me more, give me more. But the villains do suck, as I said. Villains don't really get much screen time at all, and the main one throughout the story is just so ass. I didn't really like him that much, even on my second playthrough. I was warming up to him, and then he kind of just disappears without spoiling stuff. So, you know, it is what it is, but it's so much better than Fallen Order. And then you got the level design. Fuck the gameplay, let's just talk about the level design. These planets are so well crafted, you never get bored. There's always something to do. It always adds to the skills that you unlock over the story. So there's new areas to explore, new ways to explore areas you've already visited. It is phenomenal. I know it's a Metroidvania-esque type game. I mean, if you checked out my Prince of Persia The Lost Crown video, you know I love these kinds of games. It's so good. I love it. It's so investing. You don't need a super good story to play those kinds of games. As long as the exploration is there, you love it. And I love it. And I love these kinds of games. So I'm biased. I will admit I am fucking biased, but accept it. Accept it. Fuck you! But the level design of these planets, specifically Cobra, because that's the one you're going to be spending most of your time on, is honestly phenomenal. I loved it. Every time you get a new area to explore, you don't think, oh, for fuck's sake, another area to explore. Oh, I can't be arsed. You think, yes, another area to explore, let's fucking go. And that's what you want from these kinds of games. I mean, hell, there's a whole secret, area underneath the ground, except nowhere near as massive, I'll be honest with you, but there's this tiny little area that you can go underground on Cobra towards the end of the game, and you unlock 3 extra boss fights and a whole new area to explore with different upgrades and different ways to explore it. You affect the environment and all sorts of it's phenomenal. I don't want to spoil it, that's why I'm not going in depth, but just fucking play it, please. What more can I do? What more can I say? It's 20 quid right now on Steam. Just buy it or get Game Pass or something. And if you couldn't tell by now, I'm just licking its arse. That's what this video is. This is me licking its arse. I've got to be honest. I'm tired of being oh, well, this is good, and then the flaws are there, and nah, I love this game. Shut up. Gameplay. Oh my goodness. 4 different stances. Actually, there's 5, I think. You got single blade, dual blade, then you got a blaster stance, then you got a heavy attack stance, etc. It's phenomenal. That being said, it does feel a little pointless, okay? Okay, I am biased, but this is one thing that did really bother me. Adding 5 stances in is great, but if you don't add in enemy types that suits the stances, so it makes choosing which stance a bit more risky, risk and reward, it's kind of pointless, and all of the enemy types can be taken out by each stance. You don't need to switch stances. Sure, some stances are better off with some enemies, but most of the time you could just take out all the enemies with the single blade stance. You don't need to change it, which feels kind of pointless, you know what I mean? It's kind of annoying. So I hope in the 3rd game, if they are making it, they're going to actually, instead of adding more stances, they make the stances more relevant to specific enemies. You know what I mean? Most games where you have enemy variety, you've got different weapons to attack different enemies, it adds variety to it, adds intensity, customization, you know what I mean? But outside of that, I love everything else. I love it. I love it. I don't have any issues really with the game apart from that. I guess some of the boss fights on harder difficulties can be a bit cheap, like Ogdo Bogdo. You have to fight 2 Ogdo Bogdos. Fuck that. I'm never doing that. I can't be arsed. It just isn't worth the strength. They're harder than Elden Ring bosses. I cannot be bothered. But outside of that, I just think it's a phenomenal Star Wars game, and probably the best Star Wars game ever made. Of course, there are different Star Wars games out there that offer different experiences, like Force Unleashed is literally just a power fantasy. Both of those games, I like the first one, the second one is ass, that's just my opinion. But Survivor offers something a bit different to any other Star Wars game you can get. It's not Old Republic, it's not Battlefront, it's not Star Wars, the Clone Wars, Republic Heroes. If any of you played that back in 2010, You're a real one. I used to love that game, but when you look back at it, oh my god, it is so shit. But the point is, Jedi Survivor deserved so much better than what it got. I want to know what you think. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Have you played it? Are you ever planning to play it? Let me know down in the comments below. And thank you for watching. And EA and Respawn, don't rush the third game, because if you do, you're a... I can't say that. I could say twat. You're a twat. Don't do it again. Don't rush it, because you ruined the reputation of Jedi Survivor, just like Cyberpunk did, except Jedi Survivor didn't really have that big comeback, because it wasn't as controversial. Everyone just expected it to be like shit at launch. So yeah, but yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching, appreciate it. Subscribe if you enjoyed, unsubscribe if you hate me. That's fine with me. Goodbye. Why are you still here? Just click off the video. Okay, bye.